Chosen one, listen closely. You are not here by accident. This is a divine moment, a calling straight from God. You have felt it, the shaking in your spirit, the restless nights, the feeling that something is about to shift. And you're right, because a massive wealth transfer is coming, but not everyone will receive it. God is moving right now. He is preparing to release financial favor, opportunities, and breakthroughs, but only to those who are ready. This is your warning. Your window of opportunity is opening, but if you do not recognize the signs, you will miss it. Today, I'll reveal 7 undeniable signs that a wealth transfer is coming your way. If you have even one of these signs, God is calling you into something bigger than you ever imagined. But you must act, because blessings ignored become blessings lost. Let's begin. Listen closely. This moment is not random. You were led here for a reason. Right now, a divine shift is happening, and whether you realize it or not, you are standing at the edge of something life-changing. The struggles, the doubts, the late nights wondering if things will ever turn around. It has all led you to this exact moment. This is not just another message. It is a call to action from heaven itself. The doors of abundance are opening, but not everyone will recognize the signs. Some will see them and step forward in faith, walking into the greatest financial breakthrough of their lives. Others will hesitate, question, and let the opportunity pass them by. What about you? Have you ever felt like something was holding you back? Like there is more for you, but no matter how hard you try, the breakthrough never comes? It's not because you're unlucky. It's not because you're forgotten. It's because God has been preparing you. Now that preparation is coming to completion. The waiting is over. The shift has begun. Everything that has been standing in the way of your wealth, your success, your purpose, it's about to move. But you must be ready to take action when the moment comes. The question is, will you recognize the signs? Before we begin, I want to hear from you. Have you been feeling this shift in your life? Have you noticed unusual signs or challenges right before a breakthrough? Comment below. I'm ready for my wealth transfer. When you write it, you're not just typing words. You're claiming it in faith. This is your declaration that you are ready to receive what God has for you. And if you're unsure, keep watching, because by the end of this message, you'll know exactly where you stand. Let's begin. Sign number 1. Your finances suddenly become unstable. Money that once lasted disappears faster than before. Deals that seem certain fall apart without explanation. Unexpected expenses drain what you've saved. Everything feels like it's working against you. This is not an accident. This is a divine test. Before God transfers wealth, He removes what is built on weak foundations. He allows a shaking, not to harm you, but to prepare you. The structures you once relied on, whether a job, a source of income, or a financial plan, are being tested. Will you panic and retreat? Or will you stand firm, knowing that God is repositioning you for something greater? Look at Job. His wealth vanished overnight, but God was not taking from him. He was making room for double. Joseph was thrown into a pit before he ruled a nation. Right now, you may feel like things are falling apart. But what if they are actually falling into place? If you've been experiencing unusual financial turbulence, comment below and declare, I trust God's plan. Because those who see the test for what it is will receive the transfer that follows. Sign number 2, a massive opportunity appears, but it looks too big for you. A business idea comes to mind, but fear tells you you're not ready. A door opens at work, but doubt whispers you're not qualified. A divine connection is placed before you, but insecurity says you're not good enough. This is a test. When God gives increase, He often disguises it as a challenge. He did it with David. Before he became king, he first had to face a giant. The Israelites were promised a land flowing with milk and honey, but when they arrived, they saw giants and walled cities. Many turned back in fear. How many blessings have been left behind because people ran from the very thing God sent to bless them? If you have recently faced an opportunity that feels bigger than you, pay attention. This is a sign. God does not call the qualified, He qualifies the called. The question is, will you step forward? If you've been feeling like God is placing a challenge in front of you that seems impossible, comment below and declare, I am ready for my blessing. Because what you fear may be the very thing that will unlock your next level. Shukr. Sign number 3, people start leaving you suddenly and without explanation. Friends you trusted become distant. People you relied on turn their backs on you. A relationship you thought would last falls apart without warning. This is not an accident, it is a resilienceinislam divine separation. When God prepares to bless you, He moves those who cannot go where He is taking you. Some people are secretly jealous of your future. Some would talk you out of your breakthrough. Some are blocking the blessing without you realizing it. Look at Abraham. Before God could bless him, he had to leave his homeland. Look at Joseph. Before he could rule, his own brothers betrayed him. Even Jesus was abandoned by his closest followers before he stepped into his divine purpose. God is not punishing you, He is protecting you. So if you've been losing people lately, do not grieve what is gone. Instead, recognize the sign. This is not rejection. This is preparation. If you have felt this shift in your life, comment below and declare, I trust God's plan for my future. Because those who are leaving were never meant to carry the blessing that is coming your way. Sign number 4, God asks you to give before you receive. You pray for increase and suddenly God places a test before you. He prompts you to give, sow, or release something. Even when it doesn't make sense. It could be a washina, financial seed, helping someone in need, or walking away from something that brings comfort. And this is where many people fail the test. They hold on tightly, afraid to let go. They think, I'll give when I have more. But in the kingdom of God, giving comes before abundance. Look at Elijah and the widow. She had only a handful of flour left, enough for one last meal. But when the prophet told her to bake him bread first, she obeyed. And God provided overflow that never ran out. Look at Abraham. God asked him to offer his most precious possession, his son. But as soon as he obeyed, God provided the ram in the thicket. What is God asking you to release? If you sense that God is testing you in this way, do not resist. He's not taking from you. He is positioning you for more. If you've been feeling this divine test, comment below and declare, I trust God's provision, because those who pass the test step into the transfer. Sign number 5, you feel a sudden, unshakable desire to gain wisdom about wealth. You start thinking differently about money. You no longer see it as something to simply spend. You see it as something to manage, grow, and multiply. You feel drawn to reading, learning, and preparing. You start asking, how does wealth really work? This is not random. This is preparation. Before God releases financial increase, He gives wisdom to handle it. Look at Solomon. When God offered to give him anything he desired, he didn't ask for wealth. He asked for wisdom. And because he put wisdom first, God made him the wealthiest king to ever live. The reason many people never receive a wealth transfer is simple. God will not bless what you are not prepared to handle. So if you have suddenly found yourself seeking knowledge, making plans, and feeling the need to prepare, this is a sign. God is getting you ready. If you've been feeling this divine pull toward wisdom and financial stewardship, comment below and declare, Lord, prepare me for overflow, because those who are prepared will receive the transfer. Sign number 6, you start seeing supernatural confirmations everywhere. Things that once felt disconnected begin falling into place. Doors that were closed for years suddenly swing open. Resources, connections, and opportunities show up at the exact right time. It feels like the pieces of a puzzle are coming together on their own. This is not luck. This is divine orchestration. When God is moving, He does it with precision. He will align circumstances in ways that seem impossible. He will put the right people in your path. He will bring opportunities that you could not have created on your own. Look at Joseph. After years of suffering, in one moment, everything shifted. From a prisoner to the second in command of Egypt. That was not by chance. That was a divine setup. When you begin seeing things align supernaturally, this is a sign. The wealth transfer is no longer a distant promise. It is approaching. If you have been experiencing unusual alignment, comment below and declare, Lord, I see the signs. Because when God starts putting the pieces together, it means the breakthrough is near. Sign number 7. Right before the breakthrough, you face intense pressure. Everything in your spirit tells you that change is coming, but suddenly you feel resistance like never before. Obstacles appear out of nowhere. People around you start doubting you, questioning your decisions. Your emotions feel heavier, and the temptation to give up becomes stronger. This is the final test before God releases a breakthrough. There is always one last challenge. Moses stood before the Red Sea, trapped, just before leading his people to freedom. Daniel was thrown into the lion's den, just before he was elevated. Jesus faced the cross, just before the resurrection. What you are feeling is not the end. It is the transition. This is where many people turn back. They think, if this was meant for me, why is it getting harder? But the pressure before the promise is always the greatest. If you are feeling this resistance in your life right now, stand firm. This is a sign you are closer than you think. If you've been facing intense challenges but feel like something big is coming, comment below and declare, I will not turn back. Because those who push through the final test will step into the blessing waiting on the other side. Final word. You have now seen the 7 warning signs that a wealth transfer is coming. These are not coincidences. God is speaking. But here's the truth. Not everyone will receive it. Some will see the signs and ignore them, continuing to live the way they always have. Others will recognize them but hesitate, too afraid to step into what God is preparing. And then there are the few, the ones who understand the season. Here's your passage with proper punctuation. They are the ones who take action, who move in faith, who refuse to turn back. Which one will you be? If you have seen these signs in your own life, it is not by accident. God is calling you to prepare, to align, to be ready. This transfer is not about greed, it is about purpose. When God places resources into the hands of His people, it is for a reason, to build, to uplift, to bring change. Not just to your life, but to those around you. So I ask you now, do you believe you are being positioned for something greater? If you do, declare it right now. Comment below and say, I receive my wealth transfer. Let it be your statement of faith, your confirmation that you see the signs and are ready, because when the time comes, only those who are prepared will step into what God has promised. Right now you might be thinking, I see the signs. That means my transfer is guaranteed. But let me warn you, knowing the signs is not enough. Think about this. How many people saw their promised land, but never entered it? How many were called to greatness, but never stepped into it? The Israelites saw the land of abundance, but an entire generation died in the wilderness because they refused to move in faith. The rich young ruler stood before Jesus, offered the key to true riches, and walked away empty-handed. The same thing is happening today. Many people see the signs, but never receive the blessing. Why? Because as God does not just reward knowledge, He rewards obedience. A sign is a call to action. When God shows you something, He expects movement. If He reveals a door, you must walk through it. If He removes people, you must let them go. If He positions you for a test, you must pass it. Too many people I could pray for a blessing, but refuse to take the step that unlocks it. So the question is, now that you see the signs, will you move? Most people miss their wealth transfer because they assume God will do everything for them. But the truth is, God provides the opportunity, but you must take action. You must take bold, deliberate action. And in just a moment, I'm going to reveal exactly how to position yourself so that these signs don't just pass you by, but lead you directly into watch the blessing. Stay with me, because what comes next is the final key. You've seen the signs. You understand that God is preparing you for a wealth transfer. But here's the critical truth. You're not done yet. The signs alone are not enough. You must take action. Let me be clear. God will not force you into your blessing. He will show you the way, but while He's waiting for you to step forward in faith and obedience. When God moves, He often requires you to move first. Just like the Israelites, who had to step into the Red Sea before it parted, Noah, who had to build the ark before the flood came. He could have said, "I'll wait until the rain starts." But instead, he acted in faith, and he was saved. Peter, when Jesus called him to walk on water, Peter had to step out of the boat. Even though the waves were crashing around him, his action turned his fear into faith, and he walked on water. So the question is, will you step out in faith, even when the storm rages around you? The Paskidin. To receiving your wealth transfer is simple, but many miss it. You must take bold, deliberate action in the direction of your blessing. God is waiting for you to move. If you're ready to act, if you believe God is calling you to step forward, then comment below, "I am ready to move." Let your declaration be your first step toward the you overflow God is about to release into your life. Nakra instruction, how to position yourself for your wealth transfer. You've seen the signs. You've understood the warnings. Now here's the final step to receiving your wealth transfer. It's not enough to just know the signs and wait. God has prepared a moment eater for you, but you must be ready to step into it. The missing key, the one thing that separates those who receive the blessing from those who miss it, is positioning. You must position yourself for the transfer. Think of it like preparing for a race. You can see the finish line ahead, but if you're not in position to run, you'll never cross it. God has placed around everything in your path. Now He's waiting for you to take action. So how do you position yourself? 1. Obedience. Act on what God has already revealed to you, whether it's giving, stepping out in faith, or trusting the process. Obedience unlocks the door. 2. Preparation. Prepare yourself mentally, spiritually, and financially. Study, learn, plan, and do the work so that when the blessing arrives, you're ready to handle it. 3. Faith-based decision-making. Every decision you make from now on must be based on faith. Move with certainty, trusting that God is leading you. Positioning is not passive. You must act, trust, and prepare for what's coming. This is the moment you've been waiting for. Don't let it slip by. If you're ready to step into your wealth transfer, comment below and declare, "I am positioned and ready." Let this be your statement of faith, your commitment to receiving the abundance God has for you. The moment of truth. You've seen the signs. You've felt the shifts. God is calling you, and you can feel the weight of what's coming. But here's the question. Will you step forward when the time comes? You've seen people miss their opportunities before, those who knew something was coming but hesitated, waiting for more signs, more certainty. They ended up watching others walk into their blessings, wondering why it never happened for them. Now listen carefully. Your wealth transfer won't happen because you're waiting for perfection. It starts right in front of you, but only if you're willing to step through it. Think about the Israelites. They knew the promised land was waiting, but they still hesitated. They stood at the edge of their blessing, looking at the giants in the land, and many turned back because they were too afraid to face what God had already promised them. This is your moment. God is not asking for perfection. He is asking for faith. He's asking you to take that step, even though it feels impossible. He's asking you to walk boldly into the unknown, knowing that He has already prepared the way. So I ask you right now, are you ready to step into your wealth transfer? This is the final test. Will you move in faith even when everything seems impossible? Will you step forward and you claim the abundance that's already been set aside for you? If you're ready to take that leap, comment below and declare, I am stepping into my breakthrough. Let your declaration be a signal to the universe that you are no longer waiting. You are stepping forward in faith. Your wealth transfer is here. Are you ready to receive it?